This episode is brought to you by Portland Distro. If you love underground music and movies, go to portlanddistro.com for licensed shirts, vinyl, CDs, and more. Go to portlanddistro.com. Plug in the discount code MikeHill666 for 15% off at portlanddistro.com. Mike Hill here. This week's episode, my good friend Eric Komst joins us. EK and I lived together back in the 90s in Boston. And those of you who are fans of Sick of It All, New York hardcore and Boston hardcore, you'll know that EK has played in a bunch of great bands, from Sick of It All, Warzone, Straw Dogs, and of course, the legendary Wrecking Crew. I always forget to mention this every week, but if you dig the show, make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram, or you can follow me, Michael DC Hill, on Instagram, and like us on Facebook, Everything Went Black Podcast.
Like then?
Yeah, it was like the late 90s or some shit.
Late 90s, yeah. More than 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Fuck, man.
Yeah, totally.
What have you been doing? You live in New York? What's the dealio?
Well, I moved to Jersey like about a year and a half ago, right? Literally.
More affordable, right?
Well, yeah, dude, I live like a human being now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what
You know what I'm saying? Like
I understand.
Yeah, I got like a parking space, and I got room.
Yes,
I have multiple rooms that I live in. You know, it's nice.
Yeah, it's different. It's not like I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, human.
Yeah. And you're out in LA now, right?
Yeah, I come out here in August of 19, so like 2 years pretty much.
Oh, good for you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool, man. I needed a change and to kind of reinvent my shit. So I was like, yo, this is McDonald's. Fuck it. I was kind of afraid because it was so far, but I'm like, it could be nothing but good out there if I just apply myself. So I came out. I'm like, oh shit, it's cool. Then COVID hit, so I was like, boom. And so now it's kind of coming out of that. I'm just kind of settling into things and trying to, get work, drumming and things of that sort, trying to promote myself and stuff. But it's pretty cool out here.
It seems like you got a lot of stuff going on, though, man. You're like, filming stuff, and we talk about all that shit, man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to I don't know. It was weird, Mike, because I took off a lot of time doing the EMT shit in Boston. It was initially a 9-year career essentially, but then I had this fucking an injury that fucked me up. So that was another 8. So basically, I had things here and there on the side, but nothing really serious playing or even talking to anybody in the scene in good 18, 20 years or something,
Yeah. But when I met you, this had to have been 95, 96. And
you were in Otis.
Yes.
And I was in Big Rig Crush.
That's what exactly. And I remember Boston at that time was
weird
kind of weird, right?
Very weird, because you had all that fucking that little fucking Tim Katz, all that little shit fucking crew that thought they were rock and roll royalty, the rock and roll rabbi, that dude Daryl, all those, you know what I mean? And it was I remember we had so much anger towards them. I was like, we'd go to colloquial, go fuck yourself. We'd be just fuck cracking on them and shit, really bad. And Big Red Crusher play shows a lot of those bands, and we'd still be mean to them.
But what I thought was funny was I went to college in Boston, right? And then
You did?
Yeah. And then
okay, where'd you go? BU?
BU, yeah.
Nice.
And then
awesome.
So I experienced the Rat and Bun Ratties, in the late 80s, hardcore.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're the right age.
Yeah. So, Wrecking Crew, all that shit, AF playing that fucking.
Did you see me with Wrecking Crew?
Yes,
86?
I saw you in Wrecking Crew. I recognized you.
Wow. That's funny, because that's where I learned how to play hardcore beats. It was that band and the Straw Dogs.
Yeah. And Agnostic Front at Ground Zero. Stuff
wow.
like that.
Yeah.
Government Issue at
at TT's?
TT's, yeah.
50 times?
Yep.
Oh, I still hear, I have a Government Issue that comes on my shuffle. I walk as Pete Moffat. That drummer boy, he is nasty. All the shit he used to do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boom, boom, these fucking, and they used to, I remember they played with Scream a lot, and they had this Gretsch, a maroon, no, what was it, kind of a weird, a dark teal colored wood grain Gretsch kit that they would share the kit and just tour like that, which is smart if you think about it.
It is smart.
But they were good. Yeah. GIs, I saw some good shows at TT's, man. Exploited, they played there.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Remember that? With, I think it was Dr. No, because Wrecking Crew was supposed to play that show, and we didn't, so I ended up,
I did not see them at TT's, though.
Oh, it's killer.
But it sounds, And then when I graduated, I left. I got a job. I was out on the West Coast for a minute, and then I moved back to Boston. And then
where you came out here and then went back to Boston?
Yes. Yeah.
Really? Why?
For work. I got a job.
Okay.
And they sent me up to the Pacific Northwest, Washington State.
Oh,
You know.
Damn, I hear you.
So then I moved back to Boston, and then all this like hard rock stuff was going on with dudes who played in hardcore bands.
Yes, exactly. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yep. There wasn't much hardcore going on.
Yeah, it was, and then Big Red Crush kind of fit into. Well, I mean, like you
Yeah,
were
I
in the
don't know.
band, I associated you with like hardcore.
Yeah.
You know, but
And
obviously
then you see that shit, and you're like, what the fuck?
Well, it was kind of what was going on, because even 454 Big Block, they had that
Yes.
the blonde dude was singing.
Oh, fuckface did. He couldn't cut in the studio, so they ended up not just getting him out of the band. Right? Mike something.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in that band Mother.
Yes.
He was like a junior mini wheat version of like Lane Staley a little bit, but couldn't sing.
And that was like, you know, guys from Wrecking Crew, Eye for an Eye, you know, all
That's
that
right,
stuff was going on. So there was like this very, you know, kind of like weird vibe as far as like rock music, you know,
especially in our age group.
Yes, yeah, grunge.
Because all the
grunge.
hardcore, like there was going on hardcore, but it was like that 10-yard fight, like the newer bands, like what was the other, In My Eyes, like those guys that lived on the first floor, right? Because they were like rev bands, right?
It was even before that, actually. Like those bands.
Oh wow, yeah.
Those bands didn't even really get going.
Oh, you're right. Those came. Yeah, that's like late '90s.
Yep. I feel like hardcore wasn't even really a thing in the early '90s in Boston.
Wow, dude, if you think about it, that's so fucking accurate. Like who was playing in Boston at the time that was like literally like a hardcore band?
I can't think of anyone, man.
Nobody. Like literally, like it was like. I mean, I don't know. When did Blood for Blood come around?
I would say
they're not really hardcore band,
96, 97 maybe.
Oh,
you know?
so they're like Terror, like all those bands that came out like mid-90s.
Yeah. That's kind of like when that whole youth crew thing started again in Boston.
Okay.
You know, with like 10-Yard Fight, In My Eyes, all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I remember I seen when I think Eye for an Eye came down to play with Sick of It All at the Marquee, and it might have been one of those KRS shows, I'm not sure, but with like Burn and shit. And they had this dude. They ran deep, man. I remember for some reason Kevin Norton was beef. He wasn't talking to me, so for some reason all of them dyed their hair blonde. Taz, all of them, and then my hair was blonde too, like just coincidentally. I'm like, "What's up, Kev?" And he like blew me shade. I'm like, "Okay, that's fucking awesome." But they ran deep though, like, dude, like so many motherfuckers, and they like had their backpacks on. And they were doing backflips off the stage, like in support of Eye for an Eye. I was like, "That is hard." Boston represent, you know, but all totally. Like young kids, like wicked young, you know.
Yeah, and that was kind of like, and then it died out for a while, I think.
Yes.
And then Taz and Norton were doing Suicide King.
Because, like, what did you do before you did Otis? What kind of music did you play?
Well, that's before I did Otis. I wasn't living in Boston. I was living in the Northwest, and I was trying to play music up there. Yeah. You know, it wasn't really working because no one. I got to be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
Early '90s, Pacific Northwest. No one knew how to play their instrument.
Are you serious?
Dead serious, man. I'm up there in this town called Bellingham.
What the fuck?
Tons of bands. Tons.
Really?
Yes. But
no one could play?
Yeah, but none of these fucking guys knew how to play.
That's annoying.
And I wanted to do like just like evil like shit, you know what I mean? And no one was really into that. So
and you could play, man.
And I just ended up moving back east after a while. I quit my job. I came back east and started. You know,
you're only one of the one dudes that I could play. Like I played the best blast beat I've ever played with in my life was with you.
That's right.
Just you. I tried it with other like people, even like fucking around with those napalm dudes, like whatever on tour, and I'm just I couldn't put two and two together. Sick Mill had one song where it was like a blast beat, like fucking 4 bars or a measure. I don't even remember. I was like, it was quick, so I could do it. But you, like, and I kept falling off with you too. You remember?
Yeah.
You're like, no, I gotta go back. Like, no. Dude, I was like, damn, I can't even do a fucking blast beat. It was awesome though, so loud. Your fucking sound is crazy.
You're definitely a pocket player though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I enjoy listening to you play when there's like a pocket, you know, and that's like your feel, you know.
Exactly. They're kind of like that. I don't know. Like there's a lot of drummers that I like, so I literally take a lot from all of them, like Bonham, like Tony Thompson, you name it, and just kind of like let the song breathe and let the song do what it's supposed to do without going crazy. But then if I'm gonna do a fill, it's gonna be nasty. Like I'm like, oh shit, he can do some next level shit. But otherwise, just keep it pocket, like you said, patterns. You know, like radio shit. You know.
Yeah, totally, man. You know, like real, like kind of songwriter style shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it could be flashy if you want, but like Charlie Watts was pretty neat that way. Like, I'm not a Stones guy, God rest his soul, but he had that shit where he was just like make a smirk here and there, and he just was nasty, just pocket every single thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a turtleneck.
Well, you know, one of the things I was always wanting to ask you, and you're born and raised Boston. JP, I think, right?
Yeah, Jamaica Plain. Yeah, Roxbury. It's like both. Yeah.
How did you end up playing in Warzone and Sick of It All?
Yeah, that's that is strange. I was really into like kind of like break dancing and graffiti shit, like that whole side of the being a teenager thing. Um, and then all of a sudden, like I was going to meet Glenn Dudley, went to JPI together, and he's like, "Yo," he turned me on to like The Cure and a few of those. Like,
Glenn Dudley, just to
yeah.
jump in real quick,
yeah,
also played in the legendary Wrecking Crew. Just to
he's
listeners out there, just keep things in perspective here,
So I don't know, it was weird. Like that was my little, like as far as pop culture and being like 14, 15 years, like I remember like the whole drumming thing and like starting when I was 9 and then being 11 and have my first job like a paper route. I remember thinking to myself, this can sound fucked up for an 11-year-old, but like I had like most of Lamartine Street and all the side streets, and I was big on Sundays. It was cold. You had to stuff the papers. You get a shopping cart. I'm like, yo, I have to get really good at the drums because I don't like this working shit. I mean, it's a paper route, and I'm 11, so I was a little salty already. Right? And so what happened was I ended up doing, I was breakdancing and doing all that kind of cool shit. My graffiti, like, I wrote Spanky, by the way. So it was all this really cool shit. And then Glenn, for some reason, I hung with him a little bit here and there, and he turned me on to his bands. And then I was also, my neighbor moved in upstairs, and he saw me with the Ford Tom, and he's like, "You play drums?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I was playing with them, this band, the Eels, and that was after my first band, Miracle Boy, with Jordan and Kevin Craddock. So I was like 14, 15.
Oh, shit.
So they had that loft down on Causeway Street. I don't know if you've ever been there before it shut down, but it was above whatever pizza place, like next to the trains. It's all different down there now, but it was essentially a loft. Like, it was insane. They built out rooms, and they were all bike messengers. And so I ended up playing with them and getting in with that crowd. And I was like a little baby at the crowd. And they were really, really cool. So I started to get a little bit better at the drums. And then Glenn's like, "What are you doing that for? Why don't you just come play with us?" And I was like, "All right, I'll give it a shot." So I ended up doing that, and it worked out good, and started playing these really cool shows. I remember Getter wouldn't book the Yields. I'm like, "What the fuck? We're not cool enough." And then all of a sudden he's booking Wrecking Crew and shit. I'm like, "This is cool. Now I'm in. It's a wrap. It's all over." So we started playing shows at both bands, and then started just doing Wrecking Crew. And then I turned on the Straw Dogs, so I was doing those both at the same time. And then all of a sudden, this guy Saab, his old skinhead, original like OG DMS to RIP, was visiting in Boston somehow. He's like, "Yo, Luke is leaving Warzone. You should, do you like them or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're pretty good or whatever."
Let me jump in real quick. Saab, also
Marauder.
The Marauder, yes.
That's right. I totally forgot about that band.
Marauders
started it late. Yeah.
One of the,
they got big, right?
Yeah, they're still going without him, believe it or not.
Yeah, they just played here like last with Leeway. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
San Pedro. That's what it was. Yeah, that's like my friend Rob Castoria plays guitar with them, and he's a funny fuck. Like, plays Jacksons, and he's good friends with Mike Gibbons from Leeway, and we fuck with each other on Facebook. Like, "You suck." He's like, "You need a clock. Your meter's so bad, man. You need a metronome." Like, tear each other apart. Like, fucking fun. He can play though. He's good.
Yeah.
You like his style, like that chunky down picking.
Yeah, I have like pretty much all the Marauder albums, man. They're all pretty.
Really?
Awesome.
How many did they do?
I got like 4. And they put one out a few years ago with the lineup that's primarily based out of Albany, I think.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know George had some kind of stuff going on with those guys, the other 3 letters, and I was like, oh, it turned into this whole thing at the end. I was like, whoa, what's going on, man? It was weird because I thought he was one of them, but I guess something happened, so they turned on. I was like, that's fucked up. Like, picking up tables and shit. I'm like, Jesus Christ. That's a weird show. But yeah, they're still going strong. And Saab, something happened along the way with Irrefutable Immutables, which is unfortunate. But he basically was the, I guess, would you say, catalyst?
Yeah. So Saab was the kind of the catalyst, exactly.
Yeah. And then so what happened is I learned those songs. I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like, I got to get my drums out of the space. So being like a real dick, I didn't even tell those guys I was leaving the Straw Dogs. I just went, grabbed my drums, left a note with the key under Leno, like real scumbag style, like fucking slippery. Like, who would do that? I mean, I was 17. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Bad decision. Number fucking 12 already. so Kristen Brady, I don't know if you remember her, old school OG Brooklyn skinhead girl or Oiboard girl. She lives with Jay now, is married to Jay in Brooklyn. Jason, that was an Eye for an Eye.
Oh, yeah. Little Jay.
Yeah, little Jay. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's little, but he's an adult. It's very strange. But they're married. And they have a beautiful family in Brooklyn. But she had a car. So her and 4 or 5 other Oiboards that I knew were all boys, like close. They were like the Oiboard, skinhead, whatever. Got my drums, put them in the trunk, and drove to New York and fucking listened to that album the whole way. whole way there over and over and over, and we got lost. So here it is. I'm driving straight to the audition. And it's pouring rain with these girls, and I get there late, like I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours late. And they're like, oh, he's like, what's up, B? I'm like, what's up? Like mad awkward because we're like rolling. You know what I mean? Like I have my drumstick bag, and he's like, yeah. So he's like, he's kind of late. I was like, yeah, I got lost, man. So I was like, how about this? Raby's like, yo, stay at my boy's house in Brooklyn, da 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 da, and you can do it like, you know, 3 or 4 days, or like, you know, next week or something. I was like, so I'm thinking, all right, this I literally might kill. I have $30 in my pocket because no one would lend me money because they knew I was going to New York. So I sold my boots, my Reds, my cherry Reds, to Luke the Last. God rest his soul. I think he's gone too. And had $30. I'm like, how am I going to do this, man? It was the craziest feeling in my stomach, but I was like, you know what? Yeah, okay. Like, I'll just go for broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, crazy decision making when you're that age. I went back the next time and nailed it, knocked out like mad other people were there. I'm like, you guys need to just go home because this is mine. And I went in and just fucking tore it up. And then, yeah, then that's it. Next thing you know, I'm playing new music seminar at fucking Irving Plaza like fucking 4 months later and on Caroline Records to boot.
Holy
so
shit.
good decision, yeah. And I had random jobs at first. Like my first job was it's called Shape It Up at the Fulton Fish Market, dude. You have this hand truck that is big as fucking, I don't know, a pickup truck, and you basically deliver the fish from the merchants to the other not venues, but the other people that are buying it or whatever, customers, I guess you would say. Like it's all over like different different slips and shit, and it was really hard job. And it was like from you go to work at like leave the house at like 1 in the morning and start around then, and then you get out at like 7 a.m. or whatever. Under the table, $90-$100, here you go. So we go hit an omelet and get some tweeds and go to the beach, and that's where I got scarred from leg tattoos. I just started getting my leg tattooed like 4 months ago because all these cuisines, they'd be wearing those banana hammock fucking bathing suits, like, hey, with like lightning bolt earrings, hey, fucking, hey, with like a fucked up Tweety Bird tattoo on the fibula with like Yosemite Sam. I was like, I'm like scarred. Never gonna get a leg tattoo. The car is like Playboy bunny locks.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Wow. This is fucking, man, this is so cool to catch up.
Hell yeah, dude.
I knew it was going to make my day or week or whatever. And then, like you said, being busy, it's just, it just, I don't know, it's good. It's healthy. Is what it is for my mind, my body, my soul. Like it's just keeping busy and like being, especially being older. I'm going to be 52 in January. I got to keep this shit rolling. The acting classes are fun.
So how'd you get into acting, man? I mean, I'm not surprised because you, you know, I remember you did a little bit of modeling and all that kind of stuff. And,
oh yeah. That men's fashion, I call it. What's men's fashion? Never mind, you don't know. I don't even say modeling because it sounds so lame and whack. But I did. Yeah. The acting, I don't know. I just was like, I want to try this. Like really super curious. And I remember in grade school and middle school, I was in like, I don't know, 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever plays, and I thought it was fun. And then when I was 11, when I had that same paper job, my mom had me in this workshop for television modeling down in Copley Square, more like Arlington Street and Boylston Street right there. It was above this Brigham's. It was crazy. I used to take the bus, the 39 bus, just solo with my fucked up corduroys down to fucking every Saturday and go to this class. And it was cool. I remember then like you'd have to read these like commercials or whatever, like Elm Ski Shop, and then work on inflection and timing. And it was kind of like I kind of touched the iceberg a little bit, but my mom couldn't afford the advanced class, which 5 of us got picked, so we just stopped it. And I was just curious because I there's people out here that are doing things that are like doing well, and it's weird because they're like people like us. So I think maybe I can do it. You never know.
It seems
it's
like
hard.
so incredibly hard to break into that kind of stuff.
Oh, it is. You know what's cool about it is I'm not on some like I'm trying to be on feature film, like whatever. Maybe down the road if that happens, but I'm not trying to go into castings. Like I'm not headshots and manager. That doesn't interest me. What interests me is the acting. Like this Wednesday I'm just gonna finish up. It's an 8-week scene study class, and you essentially have a scene partner and you pick a scene and you go on stage and you do it. You have to like memorize shit, and I just started learning how to memorize shit and trying to be me. My acting coach is dope. He's a fucking amazing guy, Josh Baton. He's Mike Baton's brother. Mike was in Super Touch and Token Etcher. He's a bass player from Queens. Great guy. And his brother's, he's been on a bunch of shit. You'd recognize him. And he's really cool. He's like, you know what, EK? He's like, you can't stop acting. He's like, just be yourself. He's like, yeah, how about this? Let your inner mass hole out and just flip it up on this one scene. I was like, all right. So I just was just being me, like we're talking now. And he goes, that's the shit. Like all the students like, damn, they were bugging and laughing and shit. I was like, okay, so essentially just be myself and just do the lines, which is kind of hard though too, you know?
Oh, so you're actually working with dialogue and stuff like that. That's sick,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's sick. And then what I'm doing now, it starts October 18th or 16th, one of the even numbers in the latter part of October. It's called Meisner technique, acting technique class. It's Meisner, and it's what it is. It's like no scenes or anything of that sort. What it is they just like you do all this crazy emotional, weird, I don't know, seesaw roller coaster shit, like breaking down and building up and breaking down. And it's like a year thing. And I guess you can do it in 9 months, accelerate. So I'm going to do it in 9 months. And yeah, we'll see what happens after the year. If I feel like, hey, maybe I can go, do that stupid commercial thing or whatever. I'll see if I can do it, But right now, that doesn't impress me because I still love playing drums. And I was playing with that dude Israel, but I almost had to first time I had to hit a person for the first time in 15, 20 years. It's crazy. Oh my God, Mike, like you read about, like so emotionally unstable. I was like, and I could see the red flags even when I initially, because I got back from Mexico with my girl, and he was like blowing me up. He's like, yo, I can play drums. And I was like, okay, word. So he has these songs that he did on this thing called Meltdown. And dude, and it sounds like a demo like that you and I did when we were like, I don't know, 14 or some shit. like he's trying to program the drum machine. It's like, like all falling off, fucked up. And he's like, yeah, you see the way he's doing that double kick? I'm like, yeah. like, and then meanwhile, he can't even really play guitar. It's like, he's trying to sing and play guitar, and he really can't play the instrument, and he's trying to like go off and perform and like all this shit in practice. I'm like, oh, like the red flags were up, but I was like, I've made decisions like that in the past where I just bounce from playing with people, and it's just being kind of selfish, just from like attitudes or whatever. But this was just like an impossible thing, and everyone, my friends who like, dude, like, go, stick it out, just do whatever, it's good. I was like, yeah, I'll just play some shows and be easy, but I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't. It's hard to keep a straight face around it when it's so obvious,
Now that's the guy Israel that was in the Bad Brains, right?
Yeah, like the big Audio Dynamite phase of the Bad Brains.
I didn't fuck with those records.
No, I didn't really fuck with anything post Quickness. Actually, Quickness was mediocre. I think Eye Against Eyes where it kind of all stopped.
I tend to agree with you on that. I like Quickness, but I don't love it. But Eye Against Eye,
exactly.
I thought that was like the future of music when I first heard that record, man.
Oh my God, I remember living at that loft. I was just talking about on Causeway Street, hearing that shit, and I remember how the production was huge. You didn't hear anything like that in hardcore ever. Women.
Yeah, those big reverb drums and that weird.
Yeah. No, it's funny. It's Mackey's. That's the reason why I like Quickness is because Mackey's got cool like dip chops. That's the only guy I like really took lessons from. But he said to me that he did all the pre-pro for that record, like all those beats are the ones that he wrote, and then they were like, "Nah, it's not going to work out right now." So, and they kind of booted him and got Homeboy back in the band. Yeah, and he just basically listened to all the rehearsal tapes and wrote his parts. Because if you think about that, Mackey, it's like that's just the way he plays. That's the way he approaches it. So it makes sense to me. And then Quickness came out, and he wasn't even on the cover. Remember? It was just all them dudes.
Oh wait, actually, I remember there being a picture of Mackey in the band on Quickness.
No, not now. If you look it up. It's like, dude, it's just basically the lineup from like I Get Die, and but on the inside they're like all drum tracks by Maxwell Jason or whatever.
Oh no shit.
But yeah, they didn't. Yeah, and I was like, damn, that's fucked up. But then he got in the band again, and that's when I left sick of it all. I ended up teching. That's the only band I ever voted for 3 weeks when Chuck was singing, Chuck Mosley, and he was playing drums. Yeah, wow. Yeah, very weird time.
It's funny how your memory fucks up sometimes. Like I distinctly see Mackey in, maybe it's another record I'm thinking about.
Yeah, is it Bad Brains or is it Promax?
Yeah, Bad Brains.
Really? Maybe on the inner sleeve or something. Maybe
it's funny.
Could be right.
Yeah, but it's funny. I wouldn't be surprised if my brain just made that up. Like I remember stuff fucked up as it is, man. Like I go back to the days that you and I lived together. Like I wonder if any of that shit even happens sometimes.
Yeah, it's weird. It's funny. My Toby out here, my friend Toby, I hang out with him a lot. He was my like drum tech back in Sick of It All, and now he's Joe out here, and he's a good guy, like healthy to hang around. It's funny, real hyper. And he's like, EK, for as much shit that you did and like where you came from, like being coming from drugs and all this shit, he's like, your memory is like insanely precise. Like I can remember like some shit in like the 5th grade, like this dude, I fucking had egg on his face and I slapped him in his fucking earlobe and blah. He's like, it's fucking hilarious. Hey, you ever gone to punk rock bowling?
That happens all over the country. There's one in Jersey.
Oh, really?
Too. Yeah. They have a punk rock bowling in New Jersey.
I thought it was just Vegas.
Maybe once again, maybe I'm wrong. Oh no, what?
No, check this. Right, because it's like a thing, right?
It's a thing. Whatever. Yep. Because they had a few years ago off played at punk rock bowling in New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, and flag and off played.
Who's Flag?
Flag is Black Flag without Greg Ginn and Henry Rollins.
You serious?
Yeah, it's like
Fucking
it's got the dude from The Descendants, not Chuck Biscuits,
Not
Chuck
Biscuits.
Dukowski, Bill
Robo?
Steven,
They call
Bill
him Robo?
Steven, no, Bill Stevenson.
Oh, Bill Stevenson. Yeah, he's nasty.
And they do Black Flag songs.
Who sings that dude? Diego or whatever.
No, fuck man. Oh wait, no,
like
Keith Morris.
name.
Keith Morris does it.
Oh, he does. Oh, okay. So they can do that one song.
Yeah,
It'll be accurate.
and he just sings like all the other shit that Dez sang.
I was trying to get up on that Circle Jerk shit, man. Like trying to there's like drummers out here that have shit on lock, like 2 or 3 of them. They nail everything out here.
Yeah.
And me trying to slip in is not easy. So Offspring needed a guy, fucking so and so needed a guy, and I'm like, people just slide right in. It's either Josh Freese, who's amazing, or Travis, or it's Joey. Fucking I forget his last name. Joey's he's nasty. I think did he play with Slipknot? No, that's what's his name, son, right? Max. What do you call it, son?
Oh, yeah, Weinberg.
Yeah, Weinstein.
Weinstein, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, accurate. So, your place right now, what is it? A 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom? Like, how much is it? Is it cool? Like,
yeah, it's cool, man. It's in just outside of New Brunswick in that area. Like, it's not.
That like
it's a
Fort
small.
Lee-ish?
No. I'm in central Jersey.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's like far enough away where it's cool. Like you feel like you're away from the city. But it's also close enough where you can shoot in there and do stuff.
Done.
Yeah.
Oh, so what do you do? What do you as far as like you do the podcast? And I also saw this other thing that you do that's really awesome, the Necromaniacs. What's that all about?
Oh, the horror one, man. Yeah, that's
dope.
Yeah, 2 horror podcasts, and I do this, and it's
dope.
Yeah, man.
That horror one is sick, man. I love those posts. I'm like, this is such a good idea, and it doesn't surprise me that you'd be doing it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You talk to Josh at all?
You know what? Josh fucking ghosted me, man.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
My lifelong friend just disappeared.
You guys are boys, man.
Nah, not anymore, man.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. Why? He's like, you guys are like the nicest people.
I have no idea.
Jesus Christ, that's weird.
After all these years.
Like, when did that happen? I'm sorry, dude. That sucks. He's a good guy.
Yeah. I mean, I got nothing against him except that for whatever reason, he just disappeared out of my life, man.
That's fucking lame. You guys have been boys forever.
That's true. But it's,
did he play bass in Otis as well when you play guitar?
He played bass in that band. Yep. He was also the bass player in Anodyne.
Anodyne. Yep, that's right. You
guys
are tight.
And then all the bands we played in bands. He was in bands after that, and they would be
you guys,
on,
man, tight. Yeah. You and him were really tight. Like as far as like that genre of music, I was like, holy fuck,
dude,
it's like amazing.
We went through so much shit together all through the 90s, and like
that's what makes you tight.
Yeah, man.
In my opinion.
And I don't know. He just doesn't. I guess he doesn't like me anymore.
Does he live in Europe? I see he posts shit about. It's like some Russian name on as a Shabef or something on Instagram. He posts pictures of his cat, a lot of cats, and this girl. He's got this blonde girl, his girlfriend or something.
I think they're married.
Oh really?
Yeah. I didn't even get invited to the wedding.
Oh, that's some bullshit, dude.
Yeah, man. Yep. I agree.
That's so lame. Fuck him. I'm gonna unfollow him.
No. Don't do that.
I'm kidding. Okay.
Yeah, no. It's I mean, we're not in touch, man. It's just people just disappear, man.
Was it one of those things where like it's not like it just kind of happened because of incommunicado, like baseline, or you think it was deliberate?
Well, I'll check this out. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like back 2017. This is when it happened.
Okay.
I was on tour. We were playing in Chicago.
What band was this?
With Tombs.
Okay, Tombs.
Yeah, my current band. Yeah.
Yes. The band I'm in now, so.
And so I get a text message, and he's like, "I'm in Chicago," and he's like, let's hang out." So I'm like, "All right, cool." So,
dope.
He shows up at the venue, and and I'm like, I'll put you on the guest list. You want to hang out? And he's like, "No, I'm gonna go home." I'm like, "All right, maybe you got to work tomorrow or whatever." So I text him. I'm like, "Dude, I'll be back home." I was still living in Brooklyn at the time. I'm like, "I'll be in Brooklyn in 3 weeks. Let's get dinner." And he's like, "Well, that's the thing. I live in Chicago now." Right?
What?
Yeah. So I'm like, the fucking kid.
That's so random.
Like, granted, I was on tour for like 2 months at that time, so I haven't been home since this is like November. I wasn't home since late September at that point.
So things transpire when you're on the road, obviously in the city, whatever. Yeah.
And then And then like I come home, and then like at some point in December, there's all these cryptic messages about his wedding. Right?
Like think like what?
Like oh, I don't even know. It's the weirdest thing, man. He's like a beautiful thing happened this weekend or something like that, and I'm like,
it's so fucking like ominous. Like what the fuck is that?
So then, and then a mutual friend of mine of ours.
Okay.
He's like, oh, I guess you're on the pay no mind list too. And I was like,
what?
Yes. Yeah. So these two of us guys and this other guy. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want to involve him in anything here.
Yeah, I get it.
He was supposed to do the ceremony for another fiance that he had.
Okay.
And he wasn't invited to the wedding either.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's fucking strange.
So, and that was the last I heard of him. At that point, I was like, you know what, man? I got enough going on in my life. I got, like relationships falling apart and all this other shit going on with me.
Word.
And I don't got the energy to pursue anything. So I just kind of let it go, man. I'm like,
okay. All right.
Yeah. And it's like, if I'm, you know how to find me. I'm around. I'm easy to get in touch with.
It sounds like something that can be resolved really, really easy. It doesn't seem to sound like some kind of specificity in terms of beef or anything like that. It's just sometimes we don't have the energy to deal with it.
That was 4 years ago, man.
Yeah, 17.
That was like,
no, damn.
Yeah.
Actually, when it's 4 years and we're like 50, 51, 49, whatever, that's kind of a little bit of a long time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. You think the years slip away, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. And it's like 20 years ago. Like I was thinking when you were going to do this interview, I was like, I was trying to think specifically when's the last time I saw you. Was it when we jammed, you one-on-one, or was it literally like when you were a roommate and I was like, goodbye? Like just because I think Dean left and.
Yeah, it was probably around that time because I know that when we played together, we were looking for a drummer in Anodyne because we came back from a tour.
Yeah.
And the guy that was playing with us, just disappeared. He left. It was one of these deals where it's like, you're out for like 5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
And the guy, last show was in Boston, and he's like, oh, by the way, I quit.
What?
After we were done playing, we're loading out of the Middle East, and he's like, yeah, I quit. And I'm like, oh shit,
that's like a by the way parts kind of sucks. Right?
Yeah, and I was like, so we get in the van and we drop him off. He takes his drums out of the back of the van, and that was the last I saw that guy.
Damn, I think I remember something to that effect when I was young, and I was like, I would have loved to have done it if I could have cut it. That's like a whole. Because it's the thing is, I hit all rim shots, so it's like it has to all be like that. And a lot of those drummers don't do all rim shots, but they do those amazing beats. Like it's so hard to. You see the shit now these double kick kids do. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, it's.
Oh my
It's
god.
some next level. The drummers just keep getting more and more technical and faster.
It's fucking. I'm wondering if I should even have done this promo video now. Like the shit I see out there, I'm like, wow. I just basically played to 4 different songs, and I'm gonna have him edit it, like a couple of hip hop joints and like a There's a new Turnstile song that's fucking insane. You should fuck with it if you haven't heard it. It's called Turnstile Loving Care or something like that. That specific song. It's like it starts like these really fast hi-hats, and then it's really smooth and fast, and the dude's voice is different. It's cool. I just started fucking with it. A lot of my friends have loved him for years.
I keep hearing about that band actually.
Yeah, Mike. Fuck with that new record. It's called Glow.
Okay.
Like like the gorgeous ladies of wrestling like the show, whatever.
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, and then I'm like, he's gonna this skater kid Isaiah is a mutual friend of a friend. He's gonna edit it, and I was like, just do it. A few times I could feel myself falling off the meter, and I was like, I'll have to do it again. So I basically had 3 takes of every song. I'm just gonna have them throw it together with some cleverness and see. It's basically just to promote myself. That's the only reason why I did it. Like I didn't even think of it. And Toby's like, it's a good idea. People out here, you probably don't even know you still play the fucking drums. You know what I mean? It's been like 20 years.
Yeah, but like
and 20 years ago was the world's my fuse, which we weren't that good. I mean,
it's still like your resume is still fucking sick though, man. And I think
that's pretty cool.
Having a promo video and I think that's. I feel like LA is like similar to New York in a lot of ways, where it's like.
Yes, I agree.
People are always looking for people to play, do
exactly.
sessions and all that kind of
shit.
Opportunities,
exactly. I always think of that New York and LA as those it's definitely the New York of the West Coast, and like. As far as film, fashion, like fucking music, like all that shit, it's like such a, and I haven't even really tapped into it a little bit, but those, like I said, the Travis and all those guys take all the fucking work. So it's like I do a jingle here, jingle there, which is cool because they're lucrative. But like I get the scab breaks, I'm not in union anymore, so it's like okay, here you go, buddy. And I'm like, and then like that's a 13-week cycle. The residual cycle is weird, so you get like this little check in 13 weeks. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's kind of cool. It's like the Warzone shit. Like they did all the re-release shit, so finally getting royalties after how many years? 1988. So every March and September is pretty cool. It's not like, I mean, it's revelation. It's not like, oh my God, I fucking feel $5,000 or anything, but it's enough to buy some cigarettes and shit.
Hey, every little bit helps, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Wow.
But
fucking amazing.
Has
it get cold there yet?
Not really. It's like, I don't know,
right?
Like 70 or something like that. It's not too, we're getting into that time of year though. Definitely.
Yeah. But you know, I was going to say, when you said, my brain is great. You said the resume is kind of cool with me, right?
Yeah.
But don't you think it's important, Mike? Like, let me ask your opinion. So, like, okay, that's cool that was that, but now it is now. Like, not to like try to relive like this stuff when I was a teenager, or like with the promo shit and everything, or is it like come on? You think it'll come off like trying too hard?
I think
you know what I'm
that
saying. Like, I not rest on my laurels. Is in other words, you know.
I think that it's important to have like current work that you're doing,
current,
you know?
Yeah.
But also do not discount the past stuff though, because that's solid.
Okay.
You know, that's like legit experience. Like that's like been on tour, been in the studio.
Yes.
Done all this shit. That's important to keep that, you know, as part of the package. You know.
I agree, because people don't have to babysit me on tour, be a tour baby, or like can't like say, oh my God, click track. You know what I mean? I can just kind of do it. You know. And you know,
yeah, you'd be surprised. Just the ability to play to a click track is not every drummer knows how to do that.
I was just gonna say, like probably, I mean, 85%, and that's like I'm not even being that cynical. Probably can't do it. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean,
I did it on that bad Warzone record, so I broke into it at age 19. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me! Like that metal one with the bullet holes. It was I was like, I've never like done anything like that in my life. So I ended up underplaying so bad that it sounds like I kind of programmed a little bit, like fucking 909 or whatever. But it's just you know. And then you hear like sometimes the kick drum. I was so like not confident while I was tracking the record that like it'll do these dribble like ghost notes, and it would trigger the sample. So it'd be like like it would. You know what I mean? To me, it sounds fucked up, and most people don't recognize it, but you would recognize it. Like, wow, it's fucked up.
I'd have to listen to it. I'd have to listen.
Oh, you don't want to listen to that.
I'd have to listen for it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Because with all the other stuff going on around it, like little details like that, unless you're listening for it, will get lost. You know?
Yeah, you're right. True. That's actually true. It's almost like if you're playing live and you throw a brick, like you're like, oops, like you say to yourself, oh, that sucks. I'll just you know, what do you call it? Recover, and it's go on with the next song or whatever. But then if you make a face while you throw a brick, it fucks
then people
it all
know
up.
you fucked up. And when you make a face, you're like, no, everyone would have been like, oh, everything's sick. And then like, you make a face and like that guy must have fucked up over there.
Yeah. It's so accurate too, because it's just you're putting that out there. Like they're looking at you, like these people, like 50 people or whatever. And it's like, holy shit, like it's fucking. What a buzzkill.
But you know what's crazy, man? I was telling you that story about how that kid quit the band at the end of the tour, like at the Middle East when we were loading out, and it was like the people that play music are fucking insane, man. You gotta like really think about
all of us
and how
perspective.
Just like some of the stupidest shit has happened over the years in playing in bands, you know, stuff like that. You know, guys not showing up for the tour, guys like leaving, you know, like people.
Yep.
It's crazy lifestyle.
Yeah, and you say it. You're putting it. You're kind of saying it as like kind of light, like the craziest stuff has happened, like on a tour. That's the light stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like just as many band as we've been in. Just think of all those different relationships that are like. They say at the end of your life you meet like 10,000 people. So us, you got to like double, triple that number at least.
Oh yeah, easily, man.
Just for being in the band, right? Being a guitar player and a drummer. It's just you have that social. I love that. It's like it reminds me that I'm alive. I don't even care if people are not slam dancing or whatever. I love that. Like, hey man, that was pretty cool. I'm like, oh, okay, that was cool. Like you literally tape the drumstick to your cast and just play the show. I was like, yeah, that was pretty cool. That Middle East thing, that's just fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
what's your band?
If like what, as far as like original music, like you know, like you had this thing going on with Israel. Are there any other perspective things you're working on?
Primarily just my songs that I've been writing for the last, like, I don't know, 15 years or plus. Like, I have fun with them because I'm really subpar guitar player at best. I just really, I don't know what it is with the motor function or the finger placement. But I can enough to like write, and I'm really into like fucking with like I have my phone's Apple and things of that sort, but I have a PC, so fucking with Cakewalk a little bit, and just trying to like go with the tech side of things to do my own pre-pro on the songs that I've been writing, and actually maybe like they're not bad. It's not like rock or it's like not anything. It's weird. I don't know. It's like kind of like programmy, like trip hoppy beats, but like slower and faster with different time signatures with like vocals that are like 3-part harmonies, but just like huge choruses and no bridges because they're just fucking stupid. And no guitar solos, any of that stupid shit. So that's pretty much it as far as creatively right now for me, just my own shit. And then, the drummer promo video, that should help maybe grabbing a gig somewhere, whether it's a tour or a session, like you said, or whatever. We'll see. It remains to be seen. And I did that same night, I did some weird fashion shit with the guy's girlfriend. She did. So I'm going to try to put that. There's a few applications you could use to just put your shit up and be like, yo, 150 an hour. Good night. You know what I mean? See what happens. You might as well. I'm not on some J. Crew Abercrombie shit, but if you're going to give me money for having a big nose and tattoos, I'm in line. Fuck that. Look at me. I'm going to go up.
So are you looking to form a band or join one, or
let me I'll put it like this way. If I was gonna form something and I don't know, it's like come out of the woodwork of sorts, I don't know, put it that way. It'd have to be people that are on the same level, like especially musically, like chops wise, it has to be there, or else I can't hold hands or teach people. Like I was doing to Israel, man. I was like, yo, you gotta like, and I'm not even that hard to work with. I'm pretty easy. Like I'm like a personality. I'm like that in rehearsal, Like I don't do 4 or 5 hours, and I'm like, yo, let's do twice a week, man. He's like, and the bass player couldn't. He's like, dude. First of all, he came into rehearsal. He's like stuck on this dude. I was like, yo, let me get a few dudes down there. He came down with a 5-string bass, just fucking like on some like finger shit, which isn't bad. But I was like, yo, you can play Stanley Clark band too. He's like, oh, he looked at me, I fucked up. But it was like it wasn't flowing. Like there's some stuff in hardcore you play with pick, some with fingers, whatever it calls for. But he just couldn't. He didn't have those chops. I was like, no, you gotta like, you gotta like those fingers. You gotta jump. There's the kick drum. It's like a jump, a jerk. And he's like, okay, and he just couldn't do it. So, I mean, I stuck it out for several months, but they'd have to be on the same level as me, and also be stable. I mean, for the most part. I mean, they don't have a wife and kids or girlfriend and shit like that, but at least pay your bills and pay rehearsal bills and be good.
Yeah, that's a big thing that a lot of like people out there that might be listening to this that are living normal lives, like like. I know. Being able to like be on time with shit like that, like space rent and that kind of stuff is fucking like you'd be surprised how hard that is with people.
I know, dude. I fucked it up for years. It wasn't until I was an EMT and I literally grew up from 30 to 40 doing that job. Like literally grew the fuck up. And like none of that shit was bothering me, like blood and guts and dead baby, like all this. I seen the illest shit. And for some reason, it just never, I don't have any like trauma from it or anything. It's really weird because I think I had been through so much shit up until that point of age 30, 31, that like that stuff was like secondary. I just was good at it. It was like I was brushing my teeth. I'm like, okay, come here. This is CPR. Oh, it's bleeding. Stop the bleeding. Like shooting victims, like 10 people like shot up. I'm like, yo, come here. All right, just throw them on the, it's just, my mom did it for 30 years.
I was going to say, I knew that your mother did that.
Yeah, single mom style too. Like fucking savage, dude. They used to call her the Iron Maiden at work.
When you told me that you were doing the EMT work, I was like, man, that's some shit, man.
Yeah, we were like MySpace friends then or something?
I don't even remember. Probably, maybe. But I remember
that shit?
Yeah, MySpace, dude. I think that still exists actually somewhere.
I think it does too. That's why I posted something today on Facebook about canceling my account because I'm just over it. I've had like a good 12-year run, and people are like, well, no, it's good for your story and like all this shit, and I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of like feels like MySpace now. Like it feels like Instagram's just like the standard,
Yeah, totally.
It's funny. But I guess it's good for communication.
Yeah, I mean, just I do it just for the band and the fucking
exactly
casting and stuff like that because that's like but Instagram I think is probably a better thing that more people are using.
Yeah, I think they're primarily the same company, but it's just a different. Instagram kind of took on the persona and tone of Facebook with like just not posting pictures. Just like, here's my story. I'm doing a backflip and eating omelets. Like, all right, who gives a fuck? That's what they do on Twitter. Twitter, you do Twitter too?
Everything. I don't go on Twitter, but things gets automatically posted to it.
Oh, it does. Oh, okay. I know what that does. I know what you mean. Yeah, I tried it for like a week. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I don't fuck around with Twitter as much.
So Tombs, tell me about Tombs. What's up with that?
We've been around for like 12 years, man. And
Jesus, you like 12 years, motherfucker. Where you been? I think that's what I mean. I was in a separate lifestyle, doing 911 calls. I didn't listen to like
yeah.
hardcore shit. It was weird.
Nah, it's just we were on Relapse, then we were on Metal Blade, and now
No
we're on
shit.
now we're on Season of Mist. And
Where's that label from?
they're in the States too, but they're based in France.
Oh, no shit. Dope.
Yeah. So like
that sounds fun.
Tour, you put out a bunch of records, do all that shit.
How's the drummer? What's his deal? Where's he from? Is he good? Is he bad? Is he medium?
I think he's probably one of the fucking top drummers, really, in metal.
Really?
I think.
I can't wait to hear it when I hang up.
I'll send you some shit.
I'm a bad friend. I haven't heard it. Yeah, would you?
Yeah, I will, man.
Because I know, like, I always loved your style. No ball sucking aside. It's just different. People are different in different ways, but like the way you approach your instrument was like the way you should approach a fucking guitar. It's like you and Brian Baker, like these fucking like that, like picking, like I don't know. You can tell you spent time on your craft, and it shows.
Well, it's stuff that we're doing now is even more different than you remember from Anodyne.
Really?
For sure, man. Yeah, it's
like what, time signature wise, or like just the material?
It's just a little bit more technical. The vocals are a little bit more evolved.
Are you singing?
Yeah, I'm singing.
Dope.
Yeah,
I can't wait. Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like
dude, I'm like a 5-year-old.
It's like super dark, very there's a lot of atmosphere.
Dark, I like.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I like.
Yeah, I'll share some stuff with you, man.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it, man. And that's like 12 years. That's not like saying we've been around for 2 years or some shit. That's a minute. Damn.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a while.
So you're like a working band. Like you go on the road.
Go on tour, like do all that, go to Europe, play festivals.
Metal Blade and Relapse must have been cool, right? I think I was on Relapse for like 4 minutes when I was in Straw Dogs. So it was like Reprise or Relapse. No, I think it was Relapse, yeah.
Relapse is great. Metal Blade, not so much.
Really? You would think that's their thing, is the metal, obviously.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know.
Maria?
I don't want to talk bad about them, but like, unless they have like 3 bands that are the priority.
Yeah, okay.
Like Cannibal
and then everything
Corpse.
else is secondary.
Yeah, Cannibal Corpse, Behemoth, Black Dahlia Murder, Whitechapel. Like that's like they'll focus on them.
I can see Cannibal Corpse. Is that the dude who has the upside down cross in his forehead, or was that
Deicide?
Deicide. Deicide, yeah. That we played that Metal Fest in I think they still have it in Milwaukee, like '91, and people didn't know what to think of us. It's like we're all like, what the fuck? But it was so much fun. All the other bands were fucking hilarious, man. We were like videotaping shit. Like Lou put a dime on his forehead. And it was like behind him, like, look at me with a dime on my head. Like, fucking, we were videotaping. It was fucked up. Like, look at this asshole.
I had Lou on this podcast about, I don't know, a few years ago.
No shit.
Yeah.
No, that's dope.
Yeah, Lou's a good
How long have you had the podcast?
I've been doing this since like 2010, maybe.
Oh, so yeah, good run. 5-6 years.
Yeah, doing it for a while.
Oh, that's dope, man. And what made you start it?
Just to do it, man. Something else to do.
As far as getting it up and off the ground, was it hard to do, like technically, or is that pretty easy?
It's pretty easy.
What about financially?
I have I have one sponsor right now, and money trickles in from that, and I'm working on some other stuff.
Okay.
I'm gonna launch.
But as far as like getting it off the ground, say if I'm gonna talk third person. Say if EK wanted to start, I'm just kidding.
All right, no,
it's not a podcast.
If a friend of mine, is interested.
Yeah,
a good friend of mine wants to know how to start a podcast.
Yeah, listen, it's not me,
it's
mind
not
you, but
me.
I have this close friend.
A really good friend of mine wants to do this.
My old friend keeps pissing. My friend keeps pissing out of his ass, and I don't know what's going on with that. Like, I'm sorry, that was gross.
But anyway, yeah. So if you got Cakewalk, right, and you got a microphone, and you can you could fucking record yourself talking or talking to someone else.
Okay.
And then you just make it MP3, and then you go to like nowadays just go into Google podcast hosting.
Okay.
And then some fucking thing will come up, and some of them will do it for, it'll be free.
No shit.
You'll do it. You can do it for free with some, but they might limit like, okay, well, you can only put up like X amount of minutes a month or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
wow, that's
it's really, there's nothing to it, man. And then you just it makes an RSS feed, which is like a little code, and then they submit it to everything else, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, like all that shit.
Yeah, I saw you had a bunch of that's sick too. You know what it is too, like you in the beginning of the conversation, you're like, I see that you're keeping busy, you can't blah, blah, blah. as far as like keeping busy, like that's an amazing thing for you to be like, not only do that, but do necros and also do like working, like doing your band. Like that's fucking, you're busy, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, some people have said that that I'm running away from my life. That's why I'm so busy.
What? Who the fuck would say that?
I've
You
been,
fucking. Some people should be lined up and shot right now.
no, I've been accused of that by like
Oh, please.
certain agents that have left my life recently.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
But it's
Bullshit.
yeah, it's like you stay so busy that you're always
No,
on
if
tour.
that was the case, you'd be moving that, like where you live in Jersey now would have been like your 13th place you've lived in the last 5 years. That's running away from your life.
Yeah, totally, man.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the, someone says that, I think they're just jealous. That's what that is.
You're probably right. Probably
Yeah.
right about that.
See, with jealousy, it's one of those emotions that it's like anger. It's like a necessity, but it's also like it manifests itself in different ways in people. A lot of times it'll be like a snarky remark or it's like sarcasm. It's dark. It's not necessarily the funny kind, or it sucks to be so empathetic, pick up on shit like that. Like I'm so fucking, I can pick up on like, you were good like that too. Like the fucking dude would look on his face. What's up with this fucking guy? Like quick, like in 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I remember we go get a burrito and we figure some shit out. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
What did you have that car? That fucking Ford?
Oh, the Bronco. The Bronco.
The Bronco. Yeah, the Bronco.
Yeah, man.
Dope.
Hell yeah.
You didn't give a fuck. You're like,
Dude.
yeah.
Yeah, that was my dad gave me that car, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Is your dad still around?
Yeah, he's still around.
Dope. How old?
82.
Wow.
Yep.
That's fucking genius, dude.
He's out there representing for the Republican Party, voting for Donald Trump.
Oh, shit. It's like that.
Yeah, man. It's like
Good
that.
Fuck it. It's a free country, kind of, sort of, a little bit. Wow. That's fucking dope. That's really cool.
Yeah.
82 isn't what it used to be. And the 70s isn't what it used to be, too. Seeing my girl's parents and shit.
I know, man. We're living longer. People are like staying, vital into the later years of their life too,
Yeah, that's the key word, vital. I was just talking to my girlfriend about that. We were driving back from Taylor's or some shit. I'm like, yo, there's like I was thinking to myself, and it sounds stupid in black and white because most shit isn't black and white. It's more gray area. The older you get, I find that like there's some people that just don't give a fuck, that are like that road rage style that is just don't give a fuck, eat and litter and shit and fucking, and then just die and don't give a fuck about the future. But there's also the person that like is one of sustainability and that like the complete opposite end of the spectrum. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any middle ground with that.
I agree.
So that's observation I've made out here because it's like you see a lot of electric vehicles, but then you also see the hypocrisy with that. I seen a dude with the one just getting out with a cigarette and threw it on the ground. I was like, really?
Out of an electric car?
Yeah, out of a Tesla. But I didn't say nothing. I said it with my eyes, of course, because I keep my mouth shut being an older man. And it was just funny. I was like, wow, that's like a bird flying backwards. It just didn't look right. You know what I'm saying?
That's so funny, man. The guy's like littering and fucking.
Totally. And it's fucking smelled like a Marlboro Red too to fucking add insult to injury. What a donkey. Fucking Christ. That's like the Diet Coke cheeseburger thing, It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Cheeseburger.
Yeah. It's like, doesn't make any sense. I'm feeling like Super Monty Python today for some reason. I don't know why.
So do you think you're going to stay out there in California?
Yeah, I think so, Mike. I don't know. It's like a lifestyle thing. It's a quality of life issue / decision because not only am I keep myself busy with the arts and things of that sort, I met this amazing woman, Monica, who spent like a year, like a little over like a year and a month, and she it's weird. I just met her on one of those dating apps like Hinge or some shit, whatever. Nice. And I would like go on that, or Bumble, like, yeah, whatever. I would like, yeah, let's go on a date. And I would just like no call, no show. Like, yeah, whatever. It's like never go. I was so tired of it. But she was like, are you coming? Like, I want to meet today for so. So she kind of made me go on the first date. And it was, dude, I opened the door to her place and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, poof, magical.
That's awesome, man.
She's fucking the shit. And it's like, we're like this borderline power couple of sorts. And it's interesting because she has a 6-year-old and she just got divorced and that's a whole other story. But the 6-year-old kid, like, I was like, come here, go away with that. Like, I'm like, yo, I don't, I've never dated anyone with kids in my life. So it wasn't until 2-3 months ago where the ex-husband got arrested for opening paint on the car. Where I was like, I think I should probably step up right now and kind of get to know the kid or whatever. And he's fucking amazing. He's so smart and sharp for his age. He also could be a little prick, but I mean, he's 6, you know what I mean? But it's really cool. And it's like, I love this kid, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's a package deal. And I just think it's made my life that much more magical. Like I feel everything, like, mind, body, and soul. They're just all that you were bankrupt. You know, I had that back surgery in 2010 from an injury, and it bankrupted me for like 4 or 5 years. I was MIA. So to be where I am now is just like magical.
That's
I can't think
awesome,
of
man.
another word really, but that seems like the right one to use. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay here. It just seems like the right thing to do.
I've always liked California, man. I've always liked LA. Like, I mean, I haven't been
Yeah.
out there since before the pandemic, obviously, but
Oh, really?
yeah. Well, I was, we had a whole year of tours canceled. I was
Oh,
supposed
that's
to
right.
be in LA like 3 times last year. You know what
I
I mean?
forgot about that. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of
man.
bands
So
cancel that
it's just
shit.
like,
Damn. So how often do you like when you go on the road? Do you do like 2 3 month spurts or like 30-day spurts or is it vary?
I mean, we have an album out, we'll go out, try to do like
Support it.
two U.S. tours, and
So
then like go to Europe or something like that, or play a festival
perfect.
over there. So
Yeah,
that's kind of the thing.
'cause that's the way you sell records, dude. Is a touring. I mean,
Yeah.
people got to see you. You know.
Well, that's the only way you make any money at all these days is touring.
Yeah.
Selling merchandise and
I
shit
was just
like
gonna
that.
say merchant touring, right? That's
Yeah.
it. If you have those things lined up right, I see all those other guys in Boston, like Dropkicks and all, like whoever, like those bands on level, like the shit that they're doing. I'm like, that is crazy. I kind of fuck with the drummer and I text back and forth recently. Like, he was like, I saw you at the channel, Signal, it was fucking amazing. I'm like, what? You're the one who his chops are sick. He's like marching band, high school guy, chops guy.
Right.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, I couldn't play that bagpipe song if you fucking paid me $1 million. Like, we're going back and forth. But those dudes were just like the skinhead dudes and the bruisers. Like,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, wow. Just that, talk about decision making, And even that band, like I thought the Street Dogs, where the singer has, like they work too. They have one of those like NASCAR things where you like put all your load in and shit. They're like 70 grand or something. It's sick, and like,
no
they're
shit.
on the road a lot. I think, yeah, Street Dogs. I think they're called, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, so like that level, and then you got to work. I mean, especially if, like, are you guys gonna, now that COVID's over, you gonna record again, or what's going on with that?
Well, we put an album out last year.
Okay.
But we're working on new material. We'll probably record at some point in 2022, and
So
we have a single that's coming out in early in 2022.
really,
Nice. Yeah. We were supposed to do a tour in November, but that got postponed. Just
okay.
shit's still whack right now. You know?
Yeah, I was gonna say shit's weird because I was talking to what's his name, Mark. I know he does that MA booking over in Europe because of maybe possible Warzone shows, and he was like, "Yo, shit is so behind over here, just in Germany. Like, I talked to him a few months ago. He's like, the vaccine is just like they ordered the wrong ones and all this shit." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
They
so
ordered the wrong
German. Yeah, I know.
Jesus Christ,
I know.
man.
He was all mad with the German accent. I was like, "Sorry, dude, I can't stop laughing."
That's
like whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
But I mean, we got like a couple shows in November just in New York. We're playing with Nuclear Assault and
No way, Danny Ilka, that's my nigga.
Yeah, dude, Danny's awesome, man. I love that.
Dude, give him a big hug for me, man. He's
will.
one of my favorite people in the world. Speaking of that Milwaukee Metal Fest, he was there randomly because you could pick him out of a crowd 80 feet away.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, Danny,
he's like 7 feet tall,
Yeah, right. Crazy. He looks crazy on stage too. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing here, Mr. Fucking Queens? He's like, oh, I got this other band called Extra Hot Sauce. We're playing so and so. I was like, Extra Hot Sauce? That sounds so crazy. The way he said it, like just like kind of like, right.
That dude's a legend, man. Danny Logan.
He is. He's a legend in our world, and he's also a legend in the neighborhood he's from. It's crazy. And I think Nuclear Assault never got the props they deserved, right?
They should have been like,
Right.
one of the big five, or they should have been the fifth out of the big four.
Yeah, I agree. Like what, like the Anthrax and all those, right?
Yeah, no, they're fucking great, man.
Wasn't Scott Ian in that band?
Scott Ian.
No, he was in MOD.
MOD and Anthrax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Danny was in was in Nuclear Assault.
Nuclear Assault.
Yeah.
And then he didn't really do much, right?
Oh no. He's to this day that guy's putting shit out, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
For years he was in Brutal Truth, and then he
I
was in
remember
like this band called Lock Up. He was in tons of shit, man.
Wow. He's still recording and doing shit?
Yeah, dude. He's still
That's amazing.
Fucking out there, man. Doing stuff.
I gotta see what he looks like now. Is he all salt and pepper or some shit with that?
He looks
crazy
exactly
look?
the same, man.
Does he? That's amazing.
He doesn't. That guy hasn't aged in like 30 years.
And his like delivery is so Queens. Like you wouldn't think that accent would come out of him. You think he'd be like have some Arkansas shit. Hey, do you like Knock Loose? Not to be ADHD, but do you like that from Kentucky? Knocked Loose.
I never even heard of it.
Dude, I'm gonna send you some shit. It's gonna change your fucking life. They're pretty much like the biggest hardcore band now.
Huh.
Like they fucking headline over Madball, all this crazy shit. They're from Kentucky. Shit. Yeah, it's weird. My boy turned me on to them like a year ago, and I was like, holy fucking shit. And then randomly enough, the singer hit me up on on IG to get some Warzone merch. I was like, are you fucking serious? You got you on? He's like, yeah, we're on stage. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? It's nasty. You're gonna like. I'll send you some shit and just look. Just download what you want to download, whatever. It's just, dude, it's fucking. As far as that, like chugga chugga, I call it. What do you call it? I call it like Cookie Monster hardcore, like like all that's like stuff from even from Boston, Death Before Dishonor. It's all that mid tempo, kind of like generic whack, trying to be hate breeds kind of style. Yeah, but this is like it's like they do this cool shit, and the drummer doesn't overplay, and the singer he screams, but it's like a cool scream. It's not like a bum out. Yeah, I think you'll like them.
Fuck yeah, man! Yeah, I'm always interested in checking out some new shit.
Yeah, me too. I can't want to hear Tombs, man.
Yeah, dude, I'll send you right after this. I'll send some stuff.
That's a great name, by the way.
Yeah, it's like dark, evil. Like,
yeah, not just Tombs. Yeah, just Tombs.
Yeah,
that's fucking dope. I like that.
Well, anyway, dude, thanks for fucking doing this, man. It was great talking.
You're welcome, Mike. Hey, promise me one thing.
What's that?
We keep in touch.
100%. I was going to say the same thing now that we've spoken formally.
Yes.
Now, informally, we can stay in touch.
Yes. Yes. I'm fucking off. That's good. I mean, I look forward to it.
Hell yeah, man.
I want to see what's going on, like your success and your progress and what's going on with the band and just your life in general. And we can do that with each other. That's what friends are supposed to do, right?
That's right.
That's the definition. It's not all about what I'm doing or all about what you're doing. It's about what we're doing together, like mystically, if that's the right word.
Mystically, that's good, man. I like that. Mystically,
dude. Where did that come from?
That's fucking awesome. Mystically.
Like I was doing these things with my hands, like some Italian dude. I'm like, in and out, like mystically. What a fucking asshole. For some reason, it really hit home with you. It's like the back alley comment. You're like, I like mystically. That's fucking dope. Oh fuck. Well, yeah, Mike, this is fucking amazing, beautiful, and I can't wait to hear it and also keep in touch with you.
Hell yeah, man.